we're joined by Terrence Malunga, the founder and CEO of the Zimbabwe Football Forum. Hi, Terrence, and welcome to Morning Rush.
No, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. Now, to start with, in brief, what is the Zimbabwe Football Forum?
So essentially, I think we have to digress a little bit more and just a little bit to have a background of why the Zimbabwe Football Forum.
Right.
I think before we cut to the chase, it's important to appreciate that we need to build an industry, a football viable and very efficient industry. As it stands, we don't seem to have one. And if I would ask you if you have any data in terms of the viewership of our football league, you might not have any. If we're gonna ask you of the revenue that we are raking in as a football industry, you might not have. But flip side, if I ask you about the EPL, I think it's actually on the fingertips. It tells you that you're looking at 11.7 billion football league. That's the EPL for you. And if you go to La Liga, you have got a 4.8 billion dollar league. And probably if you jump to SA, you might have that data immediately there. And if you come closer home, the data is not there. The football itself is not marketable. The brand itself hasn't really grown. And this is where we're coming from. Say, look, we need to create a platform where we sit down and talk about football, not just football from the four corners of the page, but football as a business. And hence, the Zimbabwe Football Forum being a symposium that brings together all football stakeholders and try and congregate, discuss, share ideas, and most importantly, network and create viable and strategic partnerships.
Right, quite interesting. When you look at the business aspect of it, and there would be the creation of value, of course, in the process. Now, you will be hosting the Southern Africa Football Business Forum on the 3rd of November, and that's tomorrow. What is this all about?
Well, exactly, it's from the background that I've just given you, and what we have since tried to do is just to make sure that we expand ourselves to include, that region. The region in the aspect of us coming from a band that we had been in as a football community. We haven't been playing international football for the last 18 years, and now since we are back, we need to be able to reintegrate quickly and be able to rebrand and reconstitute ourselves as fast as we can. And the only way to do that is if we have partners, if we are able to attract a few partners across the region and across the globe. And I'm happy to say that we have managed to do that. We have La Liga on board, which is quite exciting to us. La Liga, we are looking at a multi-billion-dollar league, and they have shown confidence in what we have put across. And this is where the Southern Africa aspect is coming from. And obviously, our theme is to enhance regional cooperation and to ensure there is proper integration within our football within the region. And this is the start of it.
Now, Terrence, you are advocating and making it clear that you believe that we should look at sport as a business. Now, if you look at other countries, other leagues, you'll find that some of these teams, we were speaking about Manchester United just now. Manchester United is actually listed somewhere in Europe. And how far is Zimbabwe at perhaps considering some of those possibilities? Have Dynamos listed on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange? Have other, football clubs like Highlanders? May you speak a little bit on that and the value that could be unlocked as a result?
Well, I think over the years, when we talk about football, we always had a scenario where we isolated from all the other industries. I think even in the development matrix or conversations, sport in general has to be part and parcel of it. We have to be able to link sport and the SDGs, the 17 goals. And like you've just put it, it's something that we are pushing towards, to have viable brands. We don't have to look at Highlanders as just a football team. We have to look at Highlanders as a commercial brand that has the capacity to go on any market and be able to sell there. But the foundational aspects of it, this is where we are starting. We need to make sure that we have the foundations in place, and the proper governance systems. Obviously now with the drive of the club licensing, system. We need to be able to start. Those are the initial steps that we have to take to make sure that at least when I go to the stock markets or I go to any other market across the globe, I'm able to bring in a commercial brand that is well run, that has proper governance systems. Talking of governance systems, I liked how you made a comment on female commentators. How many, if I ask you, female CEOs do we have in the country? This is aspects of development, right? Gender balance, inclusivity. All these aspects form a viable business, form a viable brand that is able to sell.
Right, quite an interesting subject that you also made reference to. When you look at the stock market, I think we have one CEO for a listed company, and that's actually at Dairy Board. But interesting also that you spoke about the aspect of governance. There are always concerns about players who get to have an illustrious career, but post their great career, they've got issues, financial issues. So when you then formalize some of these things, you find that you eliminate, some of those challenges through a retirement fund and things like that. But it needs proper governance. Now, let's get back to the subject of the forum. Who is invited at this forum?
Well, let me just say, everybody is invited. I think I just might need to make a quick note. The other thing is, I'm a former footballer. I played for the national team. I played in the Premier League. Yeah? We have this challenge thinking that we are the owners of the game, which is a misconception. The game is owned by each and everybody. You are the owner of the game because you need to drive the brands. You need to drive the football. So everybody it's a multi-stakeholder event. But obviously, we're going to have very critical people that are going to come through. And obviously, Nem, the Honorable Kirsty Coventry, she's going to grace us. She's actually going to be our guest of honor. We also have a special guest in the form of Mr. Diego Catluki, who is the deputy ambassador for Spain. We also have Treso Mbeku, who is the managing director for La Liga Africa. We have Enrique Soy, who is the regional director of South Africa for La Liga. We also have Fraser Fair, who is one of the key agents. If you know the guy playing for Atletico Madrid, he is the agent for the guy from Mozambique. The name just ran out. He's the agent who actually made the guy to go to Atletico Madrid. We also have Jomo Sono coming in, legendary player, legendary entrepreneur, legendary in terms of how he has contributed to Zim. And we have got a whole host of the local speakers. We have got Ruben Shariko coming in. We have Dr. Manasseh coming in. We have Kupakwashi Mkurumbira. We have Desmond Maringwa talking about player welfare. We have Chido Chizondo from FC Platinum. We have Ronald Moyo, Highlanders.
Quite some big names coming
through.
Very,
very big, yeah.
Interesting. What is the theme that you are running with, and what are you aiming to achieve at this particular summit?
Apparently, the consistent is professionalizing and transforming our game. That's the key tech, and obviously, in this year's edition, we are running on a regional level, enhancing regional cooperation and integration within football.
What is the reception, the anticipated reception, as a result of this?
Well, to be quite frank, obviously we are cutting in a new territory, and what we are hoping and what we have seen. This is our second edition. And what we have seen, the support that we have seen from all critical stakeholders. We have PSR on board. We have the SRC. Obviously, we are going to have the the Director General, Ms. Elter, being part and parcel of the discussions. We have ZBC, who apparently are our media partners. They will be streaming it, the entire event. And we have the NC Zifa through the NC, who are also part and parcel of it. So the reception has been quite good, especially from the critical stakeholders. And obviously now, with this, we have had, enormous or various calls from everybody who are interested in getting in. And obviously the key tech is to be able to professionalize, to be able to commercialize the brand that we have.
Terrence Malunga, founder and CEO of the Zimbabwe Football Forum. There you have it, all roads for football stakeholders lead to this particular forum. So you'd want to make sure that you are part of that ongoing conversation. Now,